guys, Heavy Metal 95 here. Today's episode review, we're going to be reviewing another episode from Season 2 of Helluva Boss. And this time this is going to be on the episode Exes and Ooze. For today's episode review, we're reviewing a brand new episode from Season 2 of Helluva Boss for today's review. So let's begin with the review because this is the episode Exes and Ooze. So the episode begins where this is a typical day at IMP office begins with Moxie tells Luna that he has lost some weight in response to calling him fat in the previous instances. As Millie then suddenly barges in violently embittered because she bumps into her ex-boyfriend very earlier. She complains about how he went on about how rich he was with a bright future and a bigger dick, much to Moxie's jealousy in her rage as Millie then punches a storage cupboard, releasing hundreds of pictures. So Blitzo, currently talking on the phone, then comes out from his office upset about the commotions. Moxie then apologizes for the outbursts and picks up the photos of which depicts an imp porn just before Blitzo snatches it away and claims it's his research returning to his office. When Blitzo resumes his conversation with a client who invites them to his estate in greed, and when he accepts a rundown on a helicopter, just destroys the left wall, much to Blitzo's annoyance. It is just to the fifth time the wall has been destroyed now. The imps then are taken to the greed ring where they meet the client, who revealed to be Moxie's father, as Crimson introduces himself to Blitzo, who takes a liking to Crimson, complimenting him, and Millie, who introduces herself as Moxie's wife, in particular, just right before they are ushered inside for dinner. So while sitting in the parlor, as Moxie inquires, Crimson invited them. So Crimson chastises him for asking before stating that they are still waiting in one guest. In that moment, another demon has busts into the door, named Chaswick Thurman, who was Millie's ex-boyfriend, and to their mutual surprise, also when Moxie's ex-boyfriend, so Millie is shocked, is that they dated, while Blitzo is furious that both of them had sex with the same person. So Moxie explains that they met during Moxie's initiation into the Mafia, while revealing he was born and raised in a Mafia, to Blitzo's shock, when Moxie and Chaz kept the relationship years ago, before Chaz abandoned him during a heist. So after Moxie was thrown into prison, he met Blitzo, who planned to help him escape and begins business together as Millie tries to kill Chaz for his deed, but is interrupted when a maid alerts them all. With that, dinner is ready. So when dinner comes, just as Crimson explains that the real reason is he invited Blitzo's team was because that he wished to welcome Chaz into the family. So in order to receive the funds from Chaz's purportedly high wealth, when Moxie and Millie are against this, but as Crimson insists that after they were done, as they would return to their normal lives. So when everyone leaves, as Crimson demands just to speak with Moxie alone, so where it is revealed that he wanted to marry him over Chaz, despite him already being married to Millie. So Crimson threatens that if Moxie refuses, that he and Millie will pay severely, which causing Moxie to remember his horrible childhood and losing his mother years ago. So afterwards, as Millie goes to Moxie, but as one of Crimson's goons tells them that they had to sleep in the separate rooms, Millie was very worried for Moxie since he didn't protest, but as his kept his mouth shut, as remembering his father's threatening words. and told her everything would be fine. So when he goes to his room, of course, when Chaz is already there and tries to seduce Moxie into loving him by singing his song to him. So Moxie responds by kicking him out of his room as Chaz tries to seduce Millie next, but only to be threatened by a knife at the throat, and then finally convinces Blitzo into having sex with him afterwards while Chaz is asleep, which is not in a good way. So then Blitzo, disappointed by the mediocre sex in a horrible way, which is not very good at this point, of course, becomes very suspicious. He steals his jacket and his ear keys, and then discovers Chaz was never rich, and then his intentions were to marry Moxie for his dad's fortune. When Blitzo tries to warn the others, Chaz tranquilizes him and stuffs him in his trunk. The next morning, as Millie goes to find Blitzo, and then as Moxie stands up to Crimson saying he won't go through with the arrangement, threatening that if he tried to hurt his family, he would then show them how good he was at his job. However, as Crimson also has Alessio that starts to electrocute Moxie, so with Millie, she then finds Blitzo, and after killing one of the two members of the Mafia, who then tried to kill her, so Blitzo tells Millie what Chaz was up to, but as the entire East State is on lockdown in the courtyard, as the marriage begins with Moxie in a wedding gown with his arms tied up and mouth gagged. So the priest skips to the ceremonial vows when suddenly Blitzo and Millie crash the wedding with Chaz's car as Millie fights all of Crimson's goons, then turning the wedding into a massacre before walking up to the altar and takes Moxie away to Crimson's begrudging acquiescence as usual, as Chaz tries to protest, but then as Millie chucks a dildo on a stick down his throat, shouting that Moxie for his ass was hers, and then spanks him with a dramatically making Moxie very blush. So Blitzo then tells Crimson that Chaz wasn't rich, which it was just right, before as they fly off into the helicopter. They came in the... and this makes Crimson angry, as he looks right at Chaz. So as the helicopter crashes right into IMP office, where Luna has remained where she was yesterday occurred originally, and Millie tells Moxie that he could have just told her about his dad, as they both hug it out, and then Blitzo bragged about he had sex with Chaz, relishing how all three of them have had a mutual sex with Chaz now, which is very weird at this point, of course, for all this. Meanwhile, back at Crimson's mansion, as Crimson's place Chaz's teeth on his wall of trophies, indicating he had Chaz murdered for lying to him and using him, a furious Crimson then throws a knife at his family portrait. The knife hitting an image of young Moxie at his forehead in response to his now estranged son for defying him. So this episode ends in that, because, however, this is particularly how I wanted to come by for, if you want to explain for talking about an episode like this, there is a real thing going on for this, goes on for that. A lot of whole circumstance thing for that. When it comes to talking about the episode like Exes and Ooze from Season 2 of Helluva Boss, is that the biggest thing is that the story is very well written. The characters as well We had Crimson as well as Chaswick Thurman in that one. These characters debuted in that one as well. The production is very good. The art is well animated. So for overall, this was the first episode to feature Luna Never Spoke in this episode, like you see in the beginning. Ever since the previous episode of Helluva Boss, which is the episode Seeing Stars, was the only episode Luna never spoke. But in this episode, Luna never spoke. Well, Luna did spoke in the episode Seeing Stars, which is the only episode in Season 2 of Helluva Boss. But this episode, like, Exes and Ooze, this is the first episode Luna never spoke in that one. So the animators wanted how they do that just to save a little budget. Just like how they did it. The same thing what they did it again in the other episodes. Like, for example, like specific episodes like Western Energy and Unhappy Campers, which those are the two episodes from Season 2 of Helluva Boss where Luna never spoke in that one, because I'm just getting to the curiosity for my thoughts on this as well, for overall, for the whole point of this as well, because I just wanted to come by for when I'm talking about a certain episode of Helluva Boss as well, because that's for this as well. And now that's for the overall. My thoughts on this episode of the episode Exes and Ooze. Like most previous episodes of Helluva Boss where Luna spoke, this was not only the episode Luna never spoke, this was the only episode that Stolas never appeared in that episode as well, accordingly, because that's how I just got to my point out for the curiosity, how this takes the cake as well. And not only that, this is part of the first 3 episodes of Luna Never Spoke in Season 2 of Helluva Boss, being this episode along with Western Energy and Unhappy Campers. This counts as the first only 3 episodes of Helluva Boss where Luna never spoke. These 3 episodes from Season 2 of Helluva Boss for what I come by to this as well. Which it does remind me, I might as well talk about a video on the episode about the character Luna Never Spoke in this episode when I get back to this at one point, as a little theory kind of thing though, because I just wanted to come by for this as well, because for the most part I just wanted to giving you the fact of how I wanted to come by for talking about Helluva Boss as well accordingly, because this is all new for me, because this is all very interesting as well, because I just wanted to come by to talk about an episode like this on Helluva Boss. That's why. For the whole curiosity trivial thing. That's my little theory though, accordingly, for the most part, because I just wanted to explain for the fact for this as well. You know, the fact thing as well, because I just wanted to, what you're knowing for, in the whole little spectrum kind of thing, for how Luna never spoke in this episode of the episode, I'm guessing it was probably this episode before the other later episodes, like the only 2 from Season 2 of Helluva Boss, which are the episodes like Western Energy and Unhappy Campers, even though I've already done a review on these 2 episodes a while back. However, this episode takes the cake, where this is the only, being the episode where Luna never spoke in this episode, and especially whenever you're when it comes to watching when you're still in the, especially if you're currently watching Season 2 of Helluva Boss, and the biggest thing is that it's like when you're not rubbing something in the wrong way, though, it's particularly for whatever you come by for this accordingly. And that's pretty much for the fact. But that's just besides the point for this on my thoughts on this one. So my score for this episode, I like most episodes of Helluva Boss. I like Seeing Stars. I like the episode Spring Broken. I like the Harvest Moon Festival episode. I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10 for this one as well. For that as well. So that's going to be it for my review on the Helluva Boss episode, X's and Ooze, for today's episode review. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new to the channel, especially if you're new as a newcomer, by clicking on the subscribe button, especially if you're new to the channel. Smack the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified also as well for more latest updates if you missed anything new. And yeah, that's all I have what I got for today for this one as well. If you missed anything new for this, if you want to tune in for that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Just what do you think of it? Just let me know if you like as well. And that's all I have what I got for today, because this is Heavy Metal 95 saying thank you for watching my video, and I'm glad you liked it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Be sure to stay safe and stay healthy, and hope you all have a great day. This is Heavy Metal 95 signing off, and thank you for watching my video. I'll see you soon for more videos. I got a plan for what's in store for more here. Take care. Stay tuned for more surprises that are coming on the way. Take care. Goodbye for now.